Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it.
Good morning, everybody. Cowboy here. It is, what is it? The 15th, and it's 8:29 a.m. EST. Taking a look at the NASDAQ right now. The PPI data is going to drop any second. Started just a minute or so early. Jump down to a lower time frame here. As you can see, the trade that, the adjusted trade, the new planned trade that happened that I kind of planned out yesterday is working. That would be in profit. We're going to zoom in here a little bit, and as the data drops, which it just did, it looks like we're just not really seeing a whole huge big reaction. This is that's a 30-minute chart. Let's fix that. 30-minute, 5-minute, 1 minute. Okay, there we go. So yeah, just we're looking at a bit of a move upward in the NASDAQ, so we can assume that the PPI came out a little bit cool. So both the CPI, PPI both came out, excuse me. Sorry, not a lot of sleep in my business these days. The CPI certainly came out cool. That happened, right? We know that. Now the PPI we haven't looked yet, but we can assume from a rise in the NASDAQ that it came out cool. So let's go ahead and flip over to the screen and take a look at it. Let me take you with me here. Go to the calendar. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, PPI came out a little bit cool. Month over month, negative 0.3%. So actual deflation, and 0.2%. So the little disinflation is like lower than expected when it comes to the core PPI. Okay, so what all that means is that now, of course, these numbers are fudged, and whether or not they're real is, not really what's at issue here. What's at issue is the market is going to treat this as if it were real, and therefore we will, from a trading standpoint, treat that as if it were real, right? Give me a second. I'm kind of flipping around my private live lab screens here so I can look for my private commenters. So yeah, so if that's the case, then you're going to see the dollar get weaker, and you're going to see the assets against the dollar get stronger and go up, which is why I'll flip back to our chart here. We're seeing this little pop up in the price. Now, will it continue? That's another story. Let me lock in this trade there. Let me zoom out a little bit. Let's just take a look at the bigger picture. Yeah, I would go ahead and yesterday's for a small profit PPI will invalidate. So yeah, this short, I mean, it's a good short per se, but the market's moving against it at this time. So I would get out. I'd look for a re-entry into this short. So let me open the screen up so you can just see what I'm talking about. I think it's still a good short structurally, right? A nice bounce off this higher time frame resistance from this prior move right here, which was back on Sunday, or I should say on Friday the 10th, and then the open the following Sunday futures. That was a nice move down. And we did get what I thought would happen, which was a bounce off that same area, a rejection to the downside. PPI did kind of mess that up a little bit. Still in profit, but I would be exiting that and then looking for a re-entry into that if the conditions were to line up. So the blue lines here were yesterday's possible, rewiring of the trades, right, based on the new data that we got on Monday. So that's what we're looking at for the NASDAQ. Let me go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin. This one looks like it will be a breakout trade to the upside. That's what it looks like it will be. We're going to take a deeper look at this. But Bitcoin holding well at 65,000, basically continuing to knock on that door, making what appears to be a bull flag, which in this part of the market could be a trick, right? The momentum ignition algorithm actually causes these bull flags to turn into moves down. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but it's very possible. So the only thing really to do with this is to take a look at the bigger picture. I can tell you that short term, this is bullish. So there's a pretty good probability that what's going to happen with Bitcoin is the breakout to the upside. So this this upward trade seems to be the way. So I would get rid of the downside move. I'll go ahead and keep this on there just because that was a prior prediction. We'll leave that on there. And then we have this possibility right here, okay? Would I get into it right now? Maybe. It's a little risky. Bitcoin's a wily beast. What you might see here is a little bit of a stop hunt and then a move up. That can happen. So if that did happen, one way to do that would be, sure, get into the trade. Even as I've drawn it here is okay for me. And then if it stopped me out, I might look for a re-entry at that time. So the tricky thing is it may want to come down to grab some liquidity from this zone right here. And it may just simply want to go down and stop people out. I mean, that is the thing. So you may see it go down as low as here. So you could either, watch me like put a trade on that has a deep stop like this to avoid that. Let's go 1.6 to 1. And then this other, I'll make this a little easier to see, this other path that I drew. So the two ways about it would be I could take this trade with not as great of a risk to reward, right? And then just stay in it and then get a better entry if it goes down to here. Or I could risk a trade with a tighter stop. If it goes down, then I might have an entry ready to go down here with a nice risk to reward on that. So take the loss and then make it up later. Those are my two choices on that, okay? So here we are, giving it away for free. Algo Factory's killing it. So the move up this morning, though, let me zoom in a little bit to see how the PPI is affecting everything. It doesn't seem significant. Yeah, it's already being stuffed. So the move, there was a spike upwards, and then so far it's being pushed back down. But the overall move for Bitcoin locally, just for the time being, is bullish. Let's move back to the NASDAQ to see how the market's still kind of accepting this move up. It hasn't pushed it back down. So keep an eye on that to possibly look to re-enter the short on that. Because I do think, briefly look, give me 1 second here to straighten everything out. Yeah. This is a tricky one. NASDAQ's tricky. It's really gonna just want to grind sideways, and then it might end up wanting to go down. That might be the case. Grind sideways and then possibly down. That can happen. So, which is kind of akin to the original look that I had for it in a way, kind of like a sideways grind and then down. It moved up faster than I thought. So we're getting towards the end of the private live lab. I want to take a look real quick while we're here at what did. Let's look over in Canada monthly. Looking for the Kevin Warsh data or the news, what he had to say. Want to see if we can get anything from what he said. Okay. I don't know if you don't need to see what I'm doing. I'm just getting some data off of a news site, so I didn't take you with me. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what it says here. I'm going to refresh this over here. I'm just doing things that are on a different screen, so just stand by. Okay, so Kevin Warsh wants to lower inflation to a level where the public no longer has to consider price changes. Okay, good luck with that. Market impact. Look, the only way to do that would be to basically like cause the market to crash. Just so you all know, like in the way the current system is designed, if you want to lower inflation to a level where the public no longer has to consider price changes, you're looking at a market crash. So that is such a grand thing to say that the only possibility is to change the entire system, because the entire system lives on inflation. The elites make their money on inflation. So to take that away is to take away their game. I really doubt we're going to see that without a major market crash. Market impact. Achieving this will lower treasury yields and make mortgages more affordable. If Donald Trump attempts to fire him, Warsh vowed to continue doing his job. Okay, so that's basically, what we got from his testimony. He condemns inflation while dodging on hikes. So I guess he didn't want to talk about hikes. So that being said, that does kind of give us an idea of what might happen in the future of the market. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the rest of the charts, gold, silver, some of the forex charts in the private live lab. We'll take a look at oil. Oil is always good to look at. It's set at 85 right now. It's calmed down a bit. So thank you all for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. EST. Don't forget there's a free algo in the description. So go to the description, click the link. Very fast video, quick video where I build an algo before your very eyes, show you how traders connect it to their broker so it can trade for them while they're not sitting at the computer. I'll show you the tools the traders use to do so. And you do have to optimize the algo before you do that, though. You can't just plug and play it. When we teach you how to optimize it over at algofactory.tech, in fact, we teach you how to build your own algo, which would probably be even better. So come on over, algofactory.tech, learn how to trade like a hedge fund pro, and don't forget.
Join us or die.